What's up guys, Preserver Games here. Today we're going to go over the top 5 mistakes that I see new players make while playing Due Process. We're going to talk about how to resolve those mistakes and do something better, and also other ways around it, potentially some tips you may not know here and there. Let's get started. Alright guys, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is your number 5 beginner mistake, and that is barbing red doors over there. So we're going to show you why this is bad, what you could do better, and we're going to discuss every problem that I see with it. So let's close this out. We're going to drop that charge. We're going to bring this over to the red door. Let me show you exactly what I see new players making all the time. We're going to kick this door open. Now you may say to yourself, Preserva, how is this a bad choice when if we barb this red door, we could basically just hear whenever they're walking up to it or placing a breach. You can hear the barbed wire noise right there. Let me show you exactly why. So if you go over here and we pick up this charge, you're going to see quite the problematic thing. Let's place it right here, and let's just discuss real quick the blast radius of these charges. So say that you have a charge right there. If you sit within this square, basically, like right here or over here, you'll probably die to the charge. So don't do that. Also, the charge goes about 2 squares back. So if I sit right here, it'll kill me. Let me show you. There we go. I'm dead. So you'll see when we come back, the barbed wire is completely gone. Now, say you go back to the training room right here, and you want to get back to the firing range as soon as possible. One of the best ways to do it is to go right here in the corner. This is in the corner of the room that you spawn in right here. Right there on the left side, you're going to click that little button that says just take me to the range. Boom, we're here. Okay. So as you see, the barbed wire is completely gone. So attacking people may come up to themselves and they say, oh, look, there's barbed wire in the red door. Let's just go ahead and blow it. Because you're wasting utility at that point. You never want to put barbed wire in red doors. In fact, one of the best ways to stop attackers from going through is to take the barbed wire, and we can place it inside the door, like right here, for instance. When you do that, you can see the barbed goes a little bit onto the side. Now, I would place it a little further out. I would suggest opening up the door and putting it halfway through. Let me show you exactly why here. So if we put it halfway through the door, I guess I have to kick it. If we put it halfway through the door, you can see it kind of sticks out a lot further. So if they go to walk up to kick this door, usually the barbed wire would make noise, but it's not doing it right now. You can hear it over here. Hear that? So you're going to basically be able to hear them coming up to the door. They're going to make all that noise right there, and you could just shoot them right through the door. It's pretty efficient. In fact, I would recommend it a lot. Just keep in mind that if you do what I do and place it inside the door more, you're going to have a difficult time if you're rotating from out here, out of enemy fire, back into the inside right here, because it's going to be a long walk through. And that brings us to our next point. Don't place barbed wire horizontally. Like, say in front of the store, don't place it right here horizontally. The reason why is because walking through barbed horizontally like this is much faster. It's like 1.2 seconds, maybe 1.1 seconds, much faster than trying to run through it. And it makes a lot more noise. So if you have barbed right here, for instance, you can just put it vertically like this instead of horizontally like this. And instead of just being able to run right through it as an attacker, they can basically just get stuck right here. You swing the corner and you pop them. It's pretty straightforward. So that's a really good way to place barbed. I would recommend doing it for the future, just because placing it vertically slows them down like almost double the time of placing it horizontally. I don't know what's happening there, but yeah, there seems to be a bug with placing barbed on the freezer. All right, well, right here you can see it slows you down a lot. Perfectly all right. Yep. All right, so we're going to talk about our number 4 point. Our number 4 point that beginner mistakes make is not brace firing. Brace firing is very useful when it comes to shotguns. Let me show you exactly why. So you may ask yourself, how do you brace fire? Brace firing is holding down the ADS button and then clicking shift. And you'll see the laser come out. The lasers, guns with lasers, when you brace fire, some guns don't have it. The guns with lasers have much better accuracy than ones without it. Say you have the Defender shotgun, the Tub 12. What we're going to show you right here is that it is in fact better to brace fire the Defender shotgun than it is to ADS it. So we hold down brace. Let's stand in the exact same spot. Hold down brace. Sorry, hold down ADS, and you can see the spread right there, right? Quite problematic. There you go. It's about the same. See, regardless. Now, if I brace fired this and I go a little bit to the right, you can see the spread itself is much closer. So when you're using the Defender shotgun, it is always better to brace fire than it is to ADS. So let's try it again. Once again, closer. Let's do ADS. There you go. You can see how much closer that the brace fires right here and right here are compared to the ADSs right here and right here and right here. So anytime you're using the Defender shotgun called the Tub 12, you need to be able to brace fire it. I would recommend rounding corners, brace fired ready. So you just want to round a corner and then brace fire whoever's around, because shotgun pellets do damage based on the amount of pellets that hit the target. If you were hip firing like in a madman, like that, look at the amount of spread that hip fire has right there. It's a full X shape, and if someone's running through, maybe only 1, 2, or 3 of those pellets are going to hit at the most. You brace fire it, which I don't have ammo to show you. You brace fire it. It's a much better spread. If you were to hip fire, or sorry, ADS it, it's even sharper spread. So brace firing on the Defender shotgun is always better. Much better when it comes to Defender. Now, look at the Attacker shotgun. Let me show you the difference. Okay, so with the Attacker shotgun, I'll show you exactly where it gets weird. So the Attacker shotgun normally does not have the same spread as the Defender. So we will shoot with that ADS. Right? The spread is much closer than the Defender shotgun. If we brace fire it, it's a little bit further out. So this is where it comes into a weird thing. I'm not sure whether the Defender shotgun is a bug or it's intentional, that it brace fire is sharper and closer than ADS. But when it comes to the attacking shotgun, ADSing seems to be much better than brace firing, because look at the amount of pattern that has compared to ADS. ADS is much closer. Brace fire is a little bit more spread out. So, comes to the Super Shotty, I think it's the same thing as the Tub 12. Let's check. As the spread of the Super Shotty ADS. As the spread of the Super Shotty brace fire. Try it again. There we go. And the thing with the Super Shotty, it's basically a melee weapon. You want to kind of keep it away from using it long range, because if you were to ADS all the way down there, you're not going to hit anything. You're probably going to hit with one pellet, and that's it. It's not going to do any damage. They're going to laugh at you. That's what's going to happen. They're going to reach over, they're going to laugh at you, and they're going to kill you. So don't use the Super Shotty like that. It's a terrible idea. Don't do that. Let's go into another point here. The other point is, when it comes to brace firing weapons like the TAR and so on, let me show you exactly what this is. The TAR is really good brace fire. You can see right here. See, with the TAR, you normally want to brace fire pretty much every time, unless you're long range. If you're long range, you want to ADS. You gotta get the headshots, you know? So, with most weapons, like the pistols, like the shotguns, the AP-25 especially, AP-25 is wonderful brace fire. You want to brace fire these things. The attacking pistol has a laser. The defending pistol does not. Yep. Okay. So the defending pistol right here, the GAT-9, excuse me, has a laser. So the brace fire on it is going to be a much closer spread than the LS, right? So let's pick up the LS. It's much easier to brace fire the GAT-9 than it is the LS. So just remember that brace firing is much better when it comes to the Defender shotgun, and much better when it comes to the Super Shotty. But when it comes to the attacking shotgun, it's not much better at all. It's still viable. If you want to brace fire, I would recommend doing it. If you're trying to get around like a better FOV, I would say. So say you're going around a corner and you want to brace fire right there. It's much better than doing this, where your FOV is much smaller. You may completely miss a guy who's right here in the corner, who's waiting for you if you're ADSing. But if you brace fire, you can see a little bit more to about right there, right? So if you ADS on the same scale, you're completely out of frame. So you want to brace fire around sharp corners where you're expecting someone to be close, and ADS where you're expecting someone to be far, right? Okay, so the number 3 mistake that I see beginner players make is not coordinating with your team at all. Let me explain why this is such a bad problem. Let's walk over here. And we're going to say that you're on the attacking team, right? You see it walking over here, you have a door that's closed, and your team is about to breach a green door. So now keep in mind that on the map, green doors on the map are kickable from the outside, red doors are only breachable, and so on. Now this door is iconically green, even though it is a green door on the map too, so didn't want to get that confused. I'm not saying green door just because it's green. So say you're looking to breach this green door. What do you think is going to happen once you breach that door? We're going to kick it open. We're going to throw all of our flashbangs in, right? Or 1 or 2 of them. And then I promise you, every time, instead of waiting a moment or baiting it out, someone's always going to go running right in. The second they go running in, someone over here is going to throw a Molotov where they're running in, and now no one can get in. So now your team, whoever decided to run in, the 2 or 3 people, just got thrown into a kill zone because no one there can reinforce them at all. I don't know what just happened. My game started there. So if they go running in like that, instead of baiting it out, they're going to run in. You're going to be sitting out here. You're going to be like, what do I do? Because the second you walk through that Molotov, you're a dead man. Let me show you exactly why. Say it's barbed off. We're going to burn a Molotov right here, and the second we do, we're going to run through. See, I tried my best to get out of the side of the Molotov, right there, and I wouldn't be able to do it. Barbed wire, when put vertically like that through the doorway, is able to kill anyone with a Molotov that goes right through. So if your team decides to run right through right after your teammate, who just went in suicidal like a madman, they will not survive that ordeal. Not to mention, a lot of the times when they know they're going to breach these green doors, you're going to have multiple people that are watching these doors. One right here, you typically, and then one at another angle, probably over here or something like that, right? So what I would recommend is when your team kicks down or breaches a door, bait out the Molotovs. Wait them out. They last about 7 or 8 seconds. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so about 10 seconds or so, unless I counted wrong. But you get the idea. It's a pretty short time. Just wait it out. Don't go running right in like a psychopath, all right? Look, I understand that you want to play Call of Duty, but it's all right. Just take a moment, take a breather, let the ADD settle, and just chill for a minute. Chill for a minute, all right? Look, what you're going to do is you're going to walk right in. You're going to turn around. You're going to run back out, right? So be like, oh no, I'm running in. Oh no, I'm running in. Now don't ever expose yourself to a door. I'm just messing with you guys. But you get the idea. Kick the door down. Start picking off targets that you can see right here, right? What you can't see, automatically assume, is waiting on the corners of these doors because these are not cleared. It's called cutting the pie. When you're going into a door and you're looking to clear a room, you always want to cut the pie. You always want to check from all the angles that you can before you go in and check the inside. Don't be a Call of Duty player and just run right through, right? And then you're just going to get mollied off and your whole team's going to die because you just turned a 5v5 match into a potential 1v3 because you're running in by yourself and the rest of your team's mollied off, or you turned it into, in my case, when I run into games, we have 3 or 4 teammates that run in right in the middle of a burning Molotov and they all die. So the game goes from a 5v5 to a 5v1 in a matter of a second. Wait out the Molotovs. It's important. It's important. Coordinate that with your team. When you're discussing turning off night vision or turning off the power, make sure you tell your team, run night vision goggles. Make sure everyone has a clacker. Make sure everyone has a breach, right? Coordinate with your team to explain what is happening, where you're going, and if you're on the defending side and you're placing Barb down, don't place it in random spots. This talks about earlier when I was talking about the horizontal barbing. I see everyone going like horizontal barb off these random places. They're not good because you should coordinate with your team the areas that you're going to hold, where you're going to hold, what you're doing, and then explain the vulnerabilities and the weak points of your strategy. Don't just randomly go barb everything because you think it's a good idea, especially barbs that aren't going to be useful. Like, if, for instance, if you're barbing a red door, don't waste that utility. It's important. Coordinate with your team. If you're on the attacking side, say, hey guys, I'm going to run Saber this time, right? So everybody else can grab night vision and I'm going to grab Saber. Let's walk into the reason why that is. So there seems to be a bug in training mode where Saber doesn't work when it comes to viewing the nighttime area. Inside this, for some reason, Saber still has everything black. But the thing with it is, when you're using Saber as an attacker, Saber makes everything look like it's daytime. So instead of seeing this when you walk into a dark area, you're going to see this, right? You're going to be able to see everything. So you'll be able to see all the brighted areas, all of the dark areas, right? Or the lighted areas, all the dark areas. And you don't need night vision goggles because you could just pop anyone here. Now, I'm using a flashlight with Saber because for some reason the bug where you can't use the night vision inside this training room. But for the most part, it's really good to do. You can see pretty much anyone else. So you can tell everyone else, hey guys, I'm running Saber. Everyone else grab night vision. And you can coordinate your attack. Now, you can do a single prong approach. You can do a dual prong approach and so on. Just keep in mind that don't go running in. This is the most essential thing. Don't go running in to a barbed room right off the bat. Clear your targets, right? Clear your rooms. Have someone hold the angles and then run in, right? Because then you know there's not going to be any Molotovs that burn your face alive, okay? And by the time you get in there, you don't want your face melted off. You're not Judge Dredd. Like, you're not invincible, all right? This Molotov is going to kill you, RoboCop, all right? Don't do that. Stop it. Okay, so the number 2 mistake I see people make is getting stuck on teller's door constantly while they're using a convenience store map. So let me show you exactly why. Say you have someone on convenience store who's just chilling right here in the coal. He's popping everyone because a lot of the times the bomb will spawn in the line of sight of that convenience store window, the little teller's window right there. So I don't know why I'm calling it a convenience store. It's called tellers. So the teller's window right there is a hole that people can shoot out of from the inside or out. And a lot of the times the bomb will align with that window so that the users inside the teller's office can shoot out and stop the people defusing the bomb. I would say like a majority of the case, that's the problem. Now there is some maps where tellers isn't as useful. So you may ask yourself, what can you do to get through this door, right? So we can kick it. That makes you feel better. We can do this all day. I mean, sometimes you gotta let your rage out. I'm not gonna judge you if you want to sit there and kick the teller's door. But the good thing to do is to shotgun it. So you shotgun the lock right there and it's open. Not only is it open, but look at this. I can open and close the door constantly. This door is completely broken now. No longer will you have to kick it. You can just open the door and close it. Now, this runs into a funny thing that I ran into with someone I was playing with in a random match. He was talking about how he didn't think you could shotgun the door. So I was telling him shotgun the door. So he walks up to the teller's door and he's over here doing this. Just wasting all the shotgun shells. And I'm sitting here wondering why the door isn't open. I almost promise you the door was just pressing F to open because someone had already shotgunned it before. So basically the equivalent of trying to manually open an automatic door. So just make sure you shotgun these doors. If you're on the attacking side, right, and you have a Molotov from the gear from the defenders, and the teller's door is one of those tellers where there's only one entrance and no other way out, just shotgun the door, throw the Molotov in, close it back, and just watch the guy burn to a crisp inside. There's nothing he can do. He can't walk over here. If he walks over here, you can just open the door and shoot him. If he walks out, you're gonna be able to shoot him. So he's pretty screwed no matter what he does. And it's a great strategy. So when you're playing on convenience store, remember shotgun teller's door, and then you can open it up, right? No more people hiding in seller's door, just sitting here waiting for people to defuse and camping the whole time. Just get it open. Get it open. Or you can breach it if you want, but find a way to get the door open, right? Coordinate with your team, tell them that you need a shotgun in that area, and they'll come over there, they'll shotgun that door, it's open, and you take out anyone there. You might be able to even get a good flank on people. You can even breach it if you want for some reason. I'm not sure why you would do that, but you can if it makes you feel better. You can always breach it. I mean, if you ever want to, you can always ring the doorbell too. Or the desk bell. Oh, I think I broke it. Alright, well, anyways, let's go on to the next tip. Okay, so for number one, for beginner mistakes, I see people wasting utility all the time. Please stop. Let me show you why. So, say I'm over here, and instead of a breach and a clocker, I have two flashbangs, right? So I watch every time as the game goes on, people forget about their utility. They'll panic. They'll think, oh, you know, I just gotta run in and shoot like Call of Duty, right? No. So a lot of people die with full stacks of utility. So they'll have like their gun, they'll have a flash, they'll have a frag or smoke or another flash or whatever, and they'll just run in and they don't use it. Use your utility. As an attacker, if you have flashbangs, the flashbangs cannot stun you. If you didn't know that, they don't work on attackers. That goes for both sides. Even if you have a flashbang as a defender that you picked up and you throw it at the attackers, it's not going to blind them. They do not get blinded by flashbangs. There's some kind of like super soldier Mjolnir RoboCop Judge Dredd thing, and that they just don't get blinded because of their visors, right? So be sure that when you throw flashbangs in, throw them into the door, like throw it right now, and then as it goes off, you're gonna run in, because whoever sits right here is gonna get full flashed. Whoever sits right here is gonna get full flash too. They're not gonna be able to see anything. Not only does it flash them in this game, but even if they don't get flashed, it's going to disorient them. If they're through a wall, say they're right here, and you throw a flashbang in, it's going to completely mess up their entire aim. So say they're like way over here, for instance, and they're aiming down sight, and you throw a flashbang directly in that door right there. This is going to disorient them completely. Their whole gun is going to sway down and up like this, or down and up like this, right? On the left or right. They're not going to be able to aim in that doorway. Take advantage of that. Take advantage of that situation. The second you throw that flashbang in, go in and then pop everyone that has all the disorientation in the world and take advantage of that. Clean out the room, make sure that the individual who is point with you, who is clearing the room with you, is clearing the proper areas, and communicate with your team. Room clear, right? Or if anyone's down, tell them that you dropped someone. If they have equipment that's useful, like the auto shoddy or the mop, then let them know. And this ties into another problem. I see people putting barbed wire on the bomb. That's a bad idea. And the reason why is because there's only one place you can defuse the bomb from. And it's within this arc right here, right? If you go further out of this arc right here, it's going to say get closer, or it won't even come up at all. So look at this. So look, it still seems like I'm close, right? But I'm not close enough. Still not close enough here. I have to get right up to it, basically. Can't defuse over here. Can't defuse over here. And in fact, if you look at the map, you can see the direct place that they can defuse from. So if you want, if there's like a breachable wall right here in this area, like say like right here, and they're over here defusing the bomb, you can go grab the auto shotty, come back and just mow them down. So being that there's only one place they can defuse the bomb at, it's kind of straightforward to tell where they're going to be. They're not going to be able to hide on the side, and even if they smoke it off, there's not really many places they can be. Just mow down the area. So you have a soft wall right there, and they're defusing. Just hold down the trigger. It's going to kill them no matter what. It's going to kill them no matter what. There's no reason to barb these things, right? So don't smoke off the bomb either, unless it's... The only time it's useful to smoke off the bomb is when you're defusing and you know no one is in direct line of sight, like right over here on another side of the wall, or no one's going to come running in. Because like I said, there's only a few places you can be. It's not really a good plan. It's a waste of utility. So let's go into another thing. Say that, you know, one of your partners is up there on the fan. You can shoot the fan right there and the fan turns off. So on factory, when you see you're coordinating with your team and you're telling them, hey, you know, whoever has saber or whoever wants to sit up on fan, sit up on fan. And then we're going to go into server side and we're going to discuss basically what's happening and make our plan from there. Your guy from saber can sit up there on the corner, right? And he just waits. And if you go turn the power off of factory, which I'll show you what that is right there. This is the power. It looks like this on the map right there. Now, it won't let me turn it off for some reason in training mode, but it looks exactly like that. You walk up to it, you click F, right? The second you click F, all the lights go off. So coordinate with your team and tell them that we're going to use night vision, right? Also tell them that the second the power goes off, let them know that the fan will go out also. The person who's up on fan can walk right through. So, in general, office side for factory is extremely essential because a lot of the times office has clear view over everything. So a good breach would be office side and teller side for convenience store. So say there's a soft wall in tellers, instead of breaching through the door itself or shotgunning the door like I showed you before, you can instead basically breach the wall behind tellers and kill anyone inside, because like I told you before, breaches have a maximum range of like 2 squares. So like right here would kill me, right? If you put a wall there. And it's also half a square inside. So if I'm sitting, it's basically going to kill me no matter what. So if a person is inside tellers and they're holding tellers and there's no guy with a shotgun, no guy with a breach besides the wall charge for some reason, or, you know, so what? Just breach the wall behind them, breach the wall to the side of them, and that'll kill them. That'll kill them a majority of the time. And then take advantage of that. Shutter control right here can only be used inside tellers. So open the windows, and the guy with saber out here can just pop anyone in a convenience store. It's a great plan. And if you turn off the power in convenience store, if I remember correctly, I might be wrong, the shutter should open if you turn off the power. Either that or the shutter control button will not work at all. So test it when you're in game. If you're on the defending side, turn off the power before the attackers can even move, like when they're in their truck, for instance, loading up, and just test to see if the shutters open. If they open when you turn off the power, turn the power back on and close them back. If you can turn off the power and that prevents shutter from opening, then that means the attacking team, if they want these shutters open, if they're not going to breach it, they're going to have to go turn on the power. They're going to have to come back and then click the shutter control button to open up the thing, which is impossible. So if you coordinate with your team and you tell them, you know, I'm going to hold tellers, I'm going to hold the power box, you know, let's bring all of our flares, and or if you take night vision goggles from the enemy around before, let them know you're going to turn off the power, because unlike the defending side, the attacking side has nothing outside of night vision goggles to give them light besides the flashlight right here, which is T, by the way. Remember for the tips today, brace firing. Do not barb red doors. In order to brace fire, hold down the ADS button and then hit shift, right? Don't barb red doors. Coordinate with your team. Shotgun the teller's door if you can. If you're like me and you like seeing people panic, shotgun the teller's door and just throw a grenade in and close it back. They're pretty panicked whenever that happens. shotgun the teller's door, or if you're defending, turn off the power, or whatever you want to do, and use your flares, use your utility. Don't go running in, and don't die with your utility still gone if you can do anything against it. If you ever need anything, feel free to leave a comment and ask any questions. I'd be more than willing to answer anything I can in terms of my ability. And if you like the video, feel free to like and subscribe. It does help the channel a lot, though it is perfectly up to you whether you would like to or not. No problem at all. I do stream from time to time on twitch.tv. It'll be under the username Preserva Games. If you want to go look for me there, I stream Due Process from time to time. And feel free to pop by and just give me a chat. Anything helps. I'm looking to grow a community around this game. And this game is really starting to grow. So I would recommend getting into it if you haven't. And if you enjoy what you like, feel free to like. Later, guys.